guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be attempting to predict the scores and results of week 23 of the Premier League season 2017-2018, and it seems absolutely ages since we were last with you. We've had Christmas, we've had games over New Year. I think the last video we did was for week 20. After Boxing Day I was ill. I've been in bed, not well. You've been ill as well.
I'm still ill now.
Still ill, still getting over it. Yeah. We actually missed the FA Cup third round as well. We couldn't go to that because we were both ill for that as well. So bit of a disaster over the festive period. But the scores and predictions have still been going on, of course. For the videos that we didn't do, of course, they were on Instagram. So thank you to all those people who made the predictions on Instagram and for week 20 as well. Now looking back at week 20, a long time ago now, I actually came away with 11 points and you came away with 8 points in the end. In the comments section for that week we had a few high scorers as well. Omsi Dash and Johnny Cluett had 9, but top of the shop, old friend of the show, Ray M with 11 points as well, who matched me. Moving on to week 21, I only had 3 points, an absolute disaster of a week. You only had 3 points. And the highest score for the week was Francis Bilardi with 3 points also. Moving on then to week 22, I had 10 points, you had 9 points. Yep. So I'm closing in a little bit there on the final high score. And there was nobody who was well enough, or nobody who actually submitted their scores for that week. Must have been at the football or something. But overall now, I'm on 155 points, and you're on 158 points. So just 3 points in it. But that's all in the past. Let's move on to the future now and week 23.
Okay, so the first fixture is Chelsea versus Leicester at 3 o'clock on Saturday. So Leicester, they're on a bit of a roll at the moment. They did win their last game, but they did lose 2 prior to that. But Chelsea, they seem to be doing okay. But I can only see Chelsea winning this one. But I think Leicester, with their prolific strike force, I think they will be able to get a goal in this game as well. So I have gone for 2-1 to Chelsea. Home win. Home win,
yeah. Well, I'm going for a home win as well. I'm going for Chelsea 2, Leicester 0. Reasons for that, looks like Chelsea don't concede many goals at home. I think they're going to be too strong for Leicester. Leicester, okay, they have picked up since they were down near the bottom earlier in the season, but they've actually come back now. But I think Chelsea are going to be too strong in this fixture, definitely. So 2-0 Chelsea. Moving on to the next fixture, we've got Crystal Palace versus Burnley. Crystal Palace, fantastic, they turned around things. Okay, they did lose against Brighton in the FA Cup third round. In the league though, they're moving up slightly, they're into 14th position. It is very tight down at the bottom of the table, so a win or a loss will take you up a few places or take you down a few places. Against Burnley don't concede many goals at all, they haven't, but they don't score that many as well. And I actually fancy Crystal Palace in this one, and I'm going for a 2-1 victory to the Eagles.
Well, believe it or not, I think Burnley, they've been on a bit of a rough ride of form recently, getting a couple of draws and a couple of losses. Palace, they've been doing excellent under Roy, but unfortunately I can see only Burnley winning this. It's going to be such a tight game, but I can see it being 1-0 to Burnley.
It is going to be a tight game. I think Burnley are going to want to bounce back from that. Yeah. That defeat against Man City in the FA Cup. Of course, they did go 1-0 ahead as well, but then the machine that is Man City steamrolled them.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next fixture, we've got Huddersfield versus West Ham. Huddersfield are doing okay at home. Away, they're struggling big time. West Ham have picked up as well. A very difficult one to call. There's not going to be many goals in this game. You've got the likes of Andy Carroll actually scoring some goals for a change. But I can actually see this one being a 1-1 draw.
Okay. Well, I reckon it's going to be a pretty close game as well because of West Ham's improving form and Huddersfield's mixture. They have excellent home form, Huddersfield, by the way, but I don't think there's going to be any goals in this game. I reckon it's going to be 0-0.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. moving on to the next match, we've got Newcastle against Swansea. It seems like that Newcastle have been shoring up their defence. They're getting a little bit more harder to beat now. They did go through that run of some defeats, but they're kind of turning it around. Okay, they may lose, but if they do lose, they lose by the odd goal. Swansea, bottom of the table, awful. However, they did have that victory against Watford, and they did go away to Wolves and carve out a 0-0 draw when many were predicting a Wolves win in the FA Cup. For this match, I think it's going to be very tight. Swansea, I think they're looking a little bit more confident with Carvajal. Is that how you pronounce his name? Carvajal.
Yeah,
coming in. Leon Britton didn't want the job as well. He's still really a player, isn't he? So he didn't want the responsibility of probably taking Swansea down, actually. I don't think Swansea are going to win this one, and I can see the Magpies carving out a narrow 1-0 win. Maybe Voldemort will come back to haunt Swansea.
I hope he does, certainly. But I've gone exactly the same as you, 1-0 victory to Newcastle. But I can actually see why they have hired Carlos Carvajal, who hasn't had any Premier League experience. Because what I predict is they are focusing really that they're going to go down this season. And what they've done is they brought in a prolific Championship manager who put Sheffield Wednesday in the playoffs for the last 2 seasons. So really, they want a manager who has great experience in the Championship.
But they've still got 15 games
for if they go down.
They've still got 15 games to go. Yeah. That is a long, it's still.
It may be a long shot.
Third of the season.
This could be good early tactics for them.
Early tactics, yes, but why? They're only a couple of points, I think. They're 4 points away from safety.
Yeah.
They did get that victory against Watford. They did lose, of course, against Tottenham. I think it was over the Christmas period as well. They got thumped by Liverpool, but if it is a January transfer window, if they could bring in a couple of players, maybe in midfield,
which doesn't look likely,
and a winger,
doesn't look likely at all.
With the finances down there, you don't know what's going to happen.
The Americans are not investing any money into that club at all, as far as I'm aware.
It's either a stick or bust. If they have got Carvajal in, he has, sort of turned around the fortunes, but that could be new manager syndrome.
Could be, but depends really. But the next fixture is Watford v Southampton at Vicarage Road in North. Well, you can kind of debate whether it's in London or not, but who cares? But anyway,
people Watford, from Watford, maybe.
Yeah, maybe people from Watford. Sorry, Watford fans, but Southampton. Oh dear, they're struggling like mad at the moment. I can't even remember the last time they won a match, but they're sat in 17th position. But if Stoke with their new manager as well, if they bring one in, they'll hopefully want to get out of the relegation zone, which will push Southampton probably down there, unless, like the fans want, as far as I'm concerned, Pellegrino to go, because people are now calling for him to resign or be sacked by the board. Obviously, Watford not in the best form at the moment, losing their last 2 matches against Man City and the team down the road that way, but. I can see Watford actually bouncing back from this fixture just because of the dire form that Southampton are in, which means I think it's going to be a 2-0 victory to Watford.
Yeah, as you say, Southampton in dire form at the moment. They over the Christmas period they did go away to Manchester United and carve out a draw, which was for them away from home against a big Premier League team. It was a great result. However, they're finding it hard to score. I can't see where another victory is going to come from, and in this fixture I can actually see a 1-1 draw.
Okay, so the next fixture is West Brom versus Brighton. Now Brighton, they've been doing okay. They have drawn their last 2 fixtures, but West Brom, it seems that Alan Pardew, I don't know why they appointed him, but West Brom are just struggling. That's all I can say. Pardew just can't seem to get things off the ground, especially when it is a transfer window. Yes, they did draw on the 26th and the 31st of December against Everton and Arsenal at home, but Pardew is really struggling. It doesn't seem that he's making anything happen in this transfer window. Reason being, I'm going to say Brighton will win this fixture 1-0.
Okay, yeah. West Brom, disarray. They've won 2 matches all season. Isn't good. Pardew haven't really turned anything around down there. Okay, as you said, they did get that draw against Everton and Arsenal, but they were both at home.
Mind saying that, if Pardew continues with his form, then they might have just kept Pulis. They might as well just kept Pulis, really.
Who was the man for the great escape in the Premier League?
They should have just kept him if they knew this was going to happen, really.
In this fixture, they are up against Brighton. Brighton don't travel too well. They don't score goals either. They did have that win in the FA Cup, of course. But in this fixture, I'm going for another draw. It's going to be a bit tedious to watch. I can see this one. And I'm going for 0-0.
Okay, so some boring viewing then.
Yeah, on that one, definitely.
Okay, so on to the Saturday night evening kickoff. We have got Tottenham versus Everton at Wembley. Now, Spurs, they're doing well. They're sat in 5th position. They haven't lost in 5 matches. They did go on a winning streak of 3. Everton, they're not in the best of form at the moment. They have lost their last 2 matches, haven't won in 5, but I can only see this being a Spurs victory, and it's going to be 2-0.
I think this is going to be a very close game at Wembley. Everton, Sam Allardyce has turned things around up there. They have shot up the table, but they're not quite out of that relegation fight with the amount of points between the top and the bottom, say 10 sides. They should have enough. They should have enough, unless they could totally capitulate and have a dire loss of form. But I can't really see that. In this fixture, I do think Spurs are going to be too strong for them, and I can see a 2-1 victory for Spurs at Wembley. Moving on to the Sunday fixtures, and the first of which we've got Bournemouth against Arsenal. Bournemouth sort of up and down. You don't know how to predict them really. They are just outside the relegation cells themselves. Arsenal lost in the FA Cup against Nottingham Forest, of course. Hard to predict themselves. Are they going to win? Are they going to turn up? Wenger, what is he doing? Is he going to put a strong...
He is banned for the next 2 matches.
He has got to put out a strong team if they want to get back into those Champions League positions. They are in 6th position in the Premier League at the moment. And against Bournemouth, I can see this being a good game, a good one to watch, and I can actually see them winning 2-1, Arsenal.
Okay. Well, I totally agree with you. 2 teams that you don't really know how they're going to play or if they're going to turn up on the day. But instead, I don't think that Bournemouth are going to get off the ground running, really. So I think it's going to be a 2-0 victory to Arsenal. Okay,
moving on to the next fixture. And this is really the game of the weekend.
Definitely.
Liverpool against Man City at Anfield.
Goodbye, Coutinho.
Now, Liverpool without Coutinho, not sure how the fans are going to react. They have got Van Dijk in the back, but then they go and get rid of Coutinho. But would you turn? Who's going to turn down Barcelona and 140 odd million or whatever it was?
Yeah, but Jurgen did try his absolute best to keep Coutinho at the club, but they just Barca about 5 bids later, then they managed to sign him.
Yeah. Is Salah going to play this weekend? I know he's picked up a knock, I think. So is he going to play? I think he will in this fixture. Massive fixture. I think Man City, they narrow victory in the Carabao Cup against Bristol City, 2-1 of course. And I can't see them steamrolling Liverpool at Anfield, so I can just see Man City sneaking this one 2-1.
Well, believe it or not, I think there will definitely be goals in there, but I can see Man City regaining their unbeaten form, and I think it's going to be a 3-2 victory to Manchester City.
Interesting.
So, pretty interesting, yes. Anyway, the final match on Monday Night Football is Man United versus managerless Stoke. I don't think that managerless Stoke are going to be able to get off the ground running at all. Goodbye, Mark Hughes. Not within a chance for the Wales job for obvious reasons.
I think he's turned it, or he's taken himself out of contention anyway. So.
Yeah, but I just can't see Stoke winning this at all. 3-0 Man United.
Well, I totally agree. I can't see Stoke winning this one. Okay, they're managerless. Sometimes that galvanates the team, or we'll do it for the manager who's gone and all that sort of stuff. I feel for Mark Hughes a little bit. Maybe they should have kept him on a little bit longer, and his backroom staff, the likes of Eddie Nezraki and Mark Bowen, who that's his kind of team that he takes around with him, like from the Wales jobs and the QPR, I think they were at as well. Manchester United should be too strong. Jesse Lingard's in excellent form at the moment, and I can see the Red Devils winning this one 2-0. So that concludes our predictions for week 23 of the Premier League season 2017-2018. We normally have a little bit of discussion about manager. Who do you think is going to be the next manager to go then? With Hughes just... I
don't think there's going to be one for a while, believe it or not.
No?
No, but saying that, I have been saying about Mauricio Pellegrino for quite a while, so it's got to be him.
Yeah?
Next one to go has got to be Southampton.
Yeah, I think so. The only other person really is possibly Eddie Howe at Bournemouth.
I don't think so. He's too respected down there. Really.
He's respected, but if Bournemouth go on a bad run of form and the owners want to stay in the Premier League, they may push the panic button. However, if they do go down, I probably want to keep Eddie Howe anyway.
Because he'll bounce them back up like Sean Dyche did with Burnley.
Possibly, yeah, if they keep hold of their players. But with the likes of West Brom down there, Swansea, I can't really see Bournemouth. I can see them getting out of it just by the skin of their teeth. And I think they'll keep Eddie Howe. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching again. Remember, as always, I'm going to put a template of these fixtures in the comment section. So copy and paste them into your comments. And the highest scorer
wins.
The highest scorer for next week, week 23, will get a shout out in the next video. But for now, guys, we'll bid you farewell and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.